Hi there, this is Pastor Denny here, interim pastor at Lutheran Church of the Resurrection in Marion, Iowa. And I'm here with Pastor Nate, who's also one of our interim pastors, and we're here to talk a little bit about COVID-19, that plus opening of the church, because we get a lot of questions. We've had a lot of questions. We've been doing a lot of work on getting ready for the day that we can actually be together as a family again. We kind of split up back in March, and of course that kind of blew our call committee possibilities as well. So that's the time that's coming up too. We're going to be able to get together and maybe have that vote taking place. But I'm sure you're concerned about when's all this going to happen and how are we going to do it. So Pastor Nate, when are we going to get together as a church family again?
Looking forward to it. Can't wait. Well, first of all, keep in mind that we never stopped meeting together as a church family, and so we're always going to continue our online services. So if you've been able to worship with us online, and know that we're going to continue those. And thanks to everybody who's helped put those on. But we're going to give our first try, our trial run is going to be on Father's Day, June 21st. And in that service, we're just going to invite you to come here and remain in your cars in the parking lot. We've purchased FM transmitters. You can just turn on the radio. There'll be music, there'll be communion, but it'll be a kind of a first attempt at getting back together again to try and do it as safe as possible. And as we do those, and as we figure out how to kind of continue to worship together, we'll start making movements towards coming into the building. The soft opening for worshiping in the building at this point is July 1st. That will be one of our Wednesday services. And on that service, we're going to be limiting that to 50 people who are going to be here. We'll be 6 feet apart, all of the things that we'll need to be doing for social distancing. Really, we're going to have to figure out how to worship together. So as important as when is how. I would encourage you as you come back to worship here to keep them in mind the principles of Jesus. Love your neighbor. We're going to be separated. We're going to be 6 feet apart. We're not going to be singing right away. We're probably not going to be doing communion together right away because we need to figure out how to do that lovingly. But that's the schedule. So the schedule is pretty quick. Pretty quick. We're going to be together again. And we're going to just ask you to be really flexible. As the staff, every time we do something, we're going to come back together and we're going to figure out what worked and, importantly, figure out what doesn't work. So it's going to take a little bit of flexibility, but people in this church are flexible. They know how to do that.
When we start worshiping indoors, we're going to have somebody opening the doors for you. We're going to have someone there to greet you, although they will not be shaking your hand, they won't be hugging you, they probably won't even be doing the elbow thing, but because we're going to be a 6-foot distance, we have to maintain distancing, even if we get into our building. The seats will be set up so that families can be together, and that those families would be 6 feet away from any other families. But those are the kinds of things that are going to happen. Plus, we want you to wear your masks and keep those on during the service. I know that most of you are doing that, and I've seen a number of you in the grocery store that are wearing your masks, and I thank you for that. I always get a little upset when I see people in the grocery store without a mask on. But that's because I think we should be caring for each other, and that's what that's all about. It doesn't really maybe protect you from anything, but it protects other people. So all this stuff that we've been talking about as a staff, and we've talked about with the governance committee, as well as we've talked about with our church council, we are getting to the point where we can get serious about moving into our building. You can read about all of the rest of the things on the website, LCRmarion.org, or you can go on to any of the social media things and places where we do have other information. You could call the office if you have a question about anything. The office will have these lists as well, and you'll be able to read these. If you can't get it online, call the office. Maybe they can send you a copy. We're really looking forward to seeing you. I know you're looking forward to seeing your friends. Just remember, you just can see them. You can't touch them. And you can't hug them, but that's okay. We're going to get there. We're going to get there as individuals. We're going to get there as a community. Thanks for being patient with us. We've been trying very hard to bring services to you online, and very hard to try to make them creative and meaningful. So stick with us. We're going to get there. Thanks for listening.
Peace.